Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.
BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. First thing I want to say is this. Often over here we have discussions and we'll talk about something and it'll sound like I'm absolutely bonkers and I'm bananas. And it allows for the people who want to be critical of the things that I'm saying to say, this guy's over here, he's bonkers and he's bananas. And then all of a sudden, things just seems to just happen where it seems like I'm saying things, but the things that I'm saying that I'm accused of not knowing what I'm talking about, apparently I'm on target.
Based on all the circumstantial evidence that I've seen here is that there's a missing dirty bomb. They're trying to find it. They're looking over the Pentagon. They're looking over the Capitol. They're in New Jersey. They're in New York. They're in Washington, D.C. There's this major event coming up next month, January 20th, the inauguration of President Trump as President of the United States of America. Vance is going to be there. I'm sure Musk is going to be there. The entire cabinet, the administration, all in one place. It seems to me very possible that there's going to be an attack on that day.
What is actually incredible to me, just so we can be clear, is that there are still people that believe that the Democrats are the ones that should be running things. I was going to curse and then I caught myself, sis. The Democrats are the ones that should be running things. Shout out to Jamal Fareed. This is BBN Family. Mods all in the chat. Hi, hit that like button on the way in. Share, subscribes. It's free. It's all of the frees. Shout out to Brandon Washington. He says, what's good for us? What's up, BBN fan band? Salute. Hit those likes. Hit that bell and subscribe. If you like the content, hit the cash app for Jake. Also, shout out to this. And I just want to throw this out there. And I just want to say this. Then he throws the cash app up. I just want to say this. Are we always ahead of the curve? Or are we always ahead of the curve? So, a lot of the things that I get criticized for, why does applications or services like YouTube then implement them? Who is the first person that we know that on YouTube, when a donation came through, they would stop the show and give appreciation? Now they have a thing where you can literally say, like, you set up a amount of donations that you would be looking for any individual show. I keep telling y'all, YouTube encourages us to ask for donations. People keep trying to act like people are on YouTube begging, and you say YouTube tells you to ask for donations. They tell you to. They tell you you're supposed to do it every like 15 minutes or something like that. This is real talk, right? So now they have even more things trying to encourage it, while other individuals are also trying to say, hating, also trying to say you're not supposed to be on YouTube getting donations. So I don't understand the shit other than hating, but it is what it is. But once again, another thing that we pioneered and started is now being implemented by YouTube. Remember, they watch our page very closely because I get complained on all the time. With that being said, I hope they implemented a couple of other things. Anyway, we can't have a conversation about that. I was going to say something, but we're not supposed to be talking about it. In any regard, yesterday we had a conversation about these whatever the hell's in the sky. Trump said something also yesterday, or the day before yesterday. He said something that was interesting. What he said is that the government knows what's up there. They know what these drones are. And not only do they know what the drones are, but he believes that they should just tell the American people need to know. But our current administration, as we already know, because we haven't been told what these drones are, if they do know what these drones are, our current administration hasn't told us what these drones are yet. So it's come out that there is a chance that some nuclear materials have been lost. Now, yesterday I had initially said a dirty bomb. Remember? I was like, yeah, it was a dirty bomb. Then I corrected myself and I said, no, a nuclear device of some sort, right? So apparently it is a dirty bomb. Shout out to that shit. I'm right, even when I'm not. First of all, shout out to the Most High, glory be to God. Jesus is King. So I wasn't right at all. I was right about nothing. God was right about whatever I'm right about. It was God. It was not me. Because I'm just gonna be honest with you. Half of the time I'm just saying things and then it just comes to pass. And we're just having a conversation. And while we're having the conversation, I'm dissecting the input that we're getting or the information that we're getting from not just social media, but mainstream media also. And I'm processing that information, all of that information, and just my perspective of what the world is and my perception of why I believe people will be motivated to do certain things. And that's how I'm coming up with whatever the hell I'm saying. So I'm just telling you, it's not me. It's just, I just be over here riffing half of the time. And it just turns out then what I said is true. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to feel about that. Feel about that however you feel about that. That's all I can say. However you feel about that, I don't know how to feel about that. With that being said, let's get back to the show. So, dirty bomb, allegedly. I don't know if this is actually what's happening. This is all alleged. I just want to be clear about this. This is all alleged. I have zero input on whether any of this is true. But what we do know is that there's these things up in the sky, that we see them and we're being told everything else other than what they are. We do know that. Shabrim says, they lying. What dirty bomb they happen to lose?
Based on all the circumstantial evidence that I've seen.
There was and there is an alert that's out right now that radioactive material in New Jersey has gone missing on December 2nd. It was a shipment. It arrived at its destination. The container was damaged and was empty. So potentially we're looking for that.
Stop right there, Mayor, because that's very important information. And that came from a credible source.
That came from the U.S. government.
And so it's missing?
Missing.
And they think it's in New Jersey, or it could be anywhere?
It was lost in New Jersey, in transit. And again, this is just an example of what I think that we're sniffing for. I think we do have the assets that can go up and fly around and sniff things, which is why we're not seeing the uptick we used to see in Belleville anymore. It's kind of moving, but we're seeing alerts that it's happening now in Pennsylvania.
And that's right about the time that the drone sightings began, right?
Yeah, drone sightings began about 4 weeks ago.
Okay, so when you take a look at this, if this information is indeed credible, why wouldn't the government say, it's us?
That's the crazy part about this. We've gotten very little information. Even yesterday on that call with the White House, literally mayors were told, you guys are seeing things. There's no credibility to this. We have one mayor, like I said, had drones over his house. I mean, we're no longer going to stand for not hearing the truth. I mean, our state government is failing us. They're not getting the answers from the federal government. And even though yesterday they told us that there's nothing to see here, today there's a top secret briefing going on in Congress. Well, what are they being told that we weren't told yesterday?
Real quick, did you know yesterday when you were on that call about this missing radioactive activity or merchandise, or did you know that this morning after the call?
I was made aware of it yesterday morning. I did raise my hand. We weren't allowed to speak. I did raise my hand, was not called on to get that question answered.
So apparently it is concerning. Even the president-elect, who I'm sure gets some kind of briefings on things, he says he's not going to his home in Bedminster, right?
Yeah, I listened to him yesterday. He no doubt gets the same exact briefings that President Biden gets. He says our government knows. He says our president knows. And he also ended with saying, I'm not going to be in New Jersey this weekend.
So what do you want to know? What do you want the government to tell you and the general public?
I want them to be clear with us. I want transparency. I want them to say these are our assets. There's no need to concern about what's flying. The question should no longer be who's flying these drones or who owns them. It should be what they're looking for. Tell us they're ours. Tell us that they're protecting us, and tell us what the threat is.
Fam, I'm not telling you to believe or what not to believe. I'm just delivering information to you. If you choose to not believe, then that's your right. If you choose to believe, that is also your right. I'm not here to argue whether it's true or not. I'm just here to show you what they're saying. I just want to be clear on this. Also, just so we could be clear, yeah. Absolutely. There could be nuclear materials lost all over the place. Because do you know how often nuclear materials are lost and we don't hear about it? We have no idea what's going on. They're just making a show about it. And I think whatever they're making a show about is what we're discussing. Right? It's dropping all of my frames. I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. I know it's dropping all of my frames. I was just watching. But yeah, so just so we could be clear, I am in no way saying that this is the truth. What I am saying is that this is what they are saying. If you want to go over
there was and there is an alert that's out
of things that we're being told about this.
Georgia prosecutor in the Trump election meddling case testifies before the House Judiciary Committee.
Look,
that's Nathan Wade, and he admitted he met with White House staff
about that all the time,
on several occasions.
Right? Here goes something else that it looks like it's orchestrated. They're talking about how they orchestrate.
Does Bureau practice entrapment a lot?
We get
Something else orchestrated. So we have these discussions all the time, fam.
I believe that what the Democrats did to Donald Trump, which I cover.
So we're just having a discussion about it happening, just so we could be clear. They be like, yo, Jack thinks this is... Nah, man. What the hell? These guys is always lying to us. But I will say this. This came out after Trump said what Trump said. Also, in addition to that, we also know that there are a ton of people who are in our country illegally that we don't have the slightest idea who they are. Also, remember all of those, and remember, I'm not saying any of this is real. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying none of that. Having problems. He's just not kicking me. We dropping frames like a mug, but at least it's not kicking me. In any regard, just so we could be clear, this report about what it might be came out after Trump said what Trump said, when he said that they need to tell everybody what's going on. They need to tell us what's going on. They need to tell us something. The government is rarely ever transparent. Let's just be honest. At this point, we don't really expect for the government to be transparent, do you? I think I might know what the problem is. First of all, boom. So the government is really transparent. I don't think that's something that we have of question of. The most transparent we ever see in our government in quite some time is actually when Trump was president. And during all of this transparency of the Trump administration, the Democrats called all of his transparency lies. And many people believe those lies. So are we to never believe the government? They capping me. Every time I get a certain amount of people in here, I've been having problems. But I closed the program that was open. I didn't realize it was open. Now we're seeing it's working a little bit better. Let's go. So I'm saying all that to say this. And that, you know what? We're going to be right back after this commercial break. We're going to take a commercial break.
So if you are a student between the 8th grade and 10th, 11th, you should be thinking about your future, right? Let me be completely honest with you. Application process, competition level, and all the things that you need to fill out is absolutely brutal. Listen, I understand you're freaking out if you're looking at all the application stuff. I'm here for you. First, you don't want to disappoint your parents. Second, you want to be at the top when compared to your friends because they are your competition. 3, the most important one, how are you even going to afford this? Are you going to be able to afford the loans? Are your parents going to be able to afford it? Are you going to get it done? And finally, to me, the most important, what is it that you're going to do in college? You want to be able to go there and actually enjoy your future. So is it really going to be worth it? Absolutely. Hi, my name is Gregory Andres, and I am a college coach, college advisor, and an educator. Over the last 10 years, I've had hundreds of students just like you get into prestigious universities like Cornell, NYU, Columbia, and Harvard. Comment education below to get a free checklist from me so it can be an easier process for you to where you want to be.
I need just a second. All right, so my question is this. So we had somebody in the chat, they're like, they don't believe that they're searching for a dirty bomb. So what do y'all believe is going on? So the reason why I asked that, for full transparency, something that the government is real is because what you're alluding to is someone or a force possibly wanting to invade something. So if you got scout ships is what it seems like you might be inferring. This is things that I just heard other people speak on. So I'm just asking, is that what you're inferring? The reason why I'm saying that is because allegedly the ships that's flying over our area is supposed to be from Space Force. I don't know how true that is. I don't know about what that is. We know what Space Force is. It's the part of the military that was actually created by Donald Trump, and everybody laughed. And then as soon as Donald Trump wasn't in, then some shit happened, and everybody was like, "But what is Space Force doing about it?" I was sitting back here like, let me get this light out my eyes in a second. I was sitting back here like, wasn't y'all all laughing about Space Force a minute ago? Y'all was making a ton of jokes. Trump was like, we got to get to Mars before China. Tell me what a lie at. He was like, yo, we got to get to Mars before China. This is what Trump was saying. And everybody was laughing at him, right? I might have laughed also. Jokes on us. And then the next thing you know, something went crazy, and then everybody, the whole world, might I add, not just Americans, were like, where's Space Force at? What's their opinion on this? People laugh at you first. They were like, what's Space Force's opinion on this? What does Space Force has to say? Space Force has all of the things to say. What does Space Force has to say? That was funny. I remember when that happened too, because I thought that was funny. Anyway, so allegedly, this is another thing that came out. I have no idea if any of this is true, but allegedly, those ships might be from like Space Force or some shit. So that might be those guys, allegedly. But also allegedly, I'm just trying to lend credence to the idea that there might be something other than a dirty bomb that they might be looking for, specifically because we have somebody in the chat that's saying that they don't believe that it's a dirty bomb, and there are other things that it can be and other recourses besides the fact of it being a dirty bomb. Like, might I add you, they said he just said something about all of these other places where these UFOs, because we cannot identify them. They might not be aliens, but we don't know what they are. The government might, but we don't. So as far as we know, these niggas is unidentified. In any regard, so Trump said he's staying away from Bedminster. Why would he say that, right? Because so Bedminster is in an area where there is an actual naval base, or it is a base, some kind of military base. In any regard, he stays near there. He said that he's not returning because these things is in that area. So my question would be, why, if these, whatever the hell these shits is in the sky, is around Navy bases, which I would assume is a no-fly zone, why have they not shot them down? I don't think people are paying attention. I'm not saying I know what's going on. But what I will say is, how many attempts have been made on Donald Trump's life? And I'm not saying that this is an attempt on Donald Trump's life. What I'm saying is that who, even if it is the American government, is actually the one giving the orders. I found something extremely interesting. I'll tell you what it is. So, during Trump's first term, there were complaints that Obama was convincing Democrats to vote certain ways and pushing his agendas that he had been trying to get going, or had gotten going during his administration. Why is this interesting? So, during Biden's administration, he accused Trump of the same thing. So why is this interesting? That confirms that there's people in positions in the government who are either elected or hired that have loyalty to someone other than the sitting president at their positions that they hold at whatever the agency is or whatever seat that they hold. So why is that important? If we're discussing that we have more than one government, the government that we see and the government that we don't see, who is the ones that are actually behind these shits in the air? Just trying to give credence to the comment that he made. It could be something other than what they're telling us. But also, in addition, let's look at some stuff that I got. People always try to make it seem like when somebody comes in here and they say something that might be something other than whatever I'm speaking about, that I actually have conflict with it, like personally or something like that. And no, that's never what it is. It's generally, are you coming in here just to say the opposite of what I'm saying? Because that's not conversation. Or are you coming in here and you have an actual valid point that's worth discussing? Anyway, so right here it says missing radioactive material in New Jersey sparks drone theories. They're looking for something, Mayor says. Mayor lets us know that they are looking for something, the drones. So once again, drones, they are but what part of the government has the drones in the sky, I guess is the question. And we hear Trump saying that he's not going back to he's not going back to Bedminster. So I doubt it's his people. Anyway, a New Jersey mayor warned Tuesday that the troubling drone sightings over the state may be linked to missing radioactive material, although federal officials say the amount poses no serious threat either way. These niggas, part of my language. Bam. Bam. Okay. So, okay. We're not doing this. Bellevue Mayor Michael Mellum said the drones flying in a grid-like pattern over his Essex County township appeared to be looking for something. So he doesn't know. What might they be looking for? Maybe that's radioactive material. Mellum told, he doesn't know. Told Fox News TV Good Day New York. Maybe he does know, maybe he doesn't know. In any regard, he seems like he's trying to be ambiguous. Like he's, he doesn't want to, whether he knows or he doesn't know, he doesn't want to state that he knows or he doesn't know. He wants to leave it up to the individual's own mind to come to whatever conclusion, while at the same time planting seeds. So this is a manipulative tactic that many people use. Many narcissists use specifically. They plant a seed while at the same time telling you neither left nor right, but they plant the seed right. They plant that seed right, but they're telling you neither left nor right, but they planting all the seeds for right. So now when it comes to your decision, you thinking that it coming to the idea on your own. You know what? It's right, but it was never your decision. That was the seed that they had planted while they told you that you had a choice. You had no choice. Anyway, in any regard, sounds like the Democratic Party, don't it? It was a shipment. It arrived at its destination. The container was damaged and it was empty. So apparently this is a whole movie going on right now. We just are, seeing it through the press. The U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission, ever since I heard this dude say the word, I've been having a problem saying that word ever since I heard Bush Jr. say nuclear. or whatever the hell he said. I've been having a problem saying that word ever since. The U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission issued an alert earlier this week regarding a piece of medical equipment used for cancer scans that was lost in transit. So this medical equipment that's used for cancer scans and isn't a big deal made it for y'all had to put all of these things into the sky and scare half the fucking world. This thing that is not a big deal. This is what you're telling us. I mean, whatever. In any regard, earlier this week regarding a piece of medical equipment used for cancer scans that was lost in transit December 2nd while being shipped from the Nazareth Cancer Center in Newfield in Gloucester County. Gloucester, Gloucester County in southern New Jersey. The device, an Eck and Ziegler model HEGL-0132, was to be properly discarded, but its shipping container arrived at a destination damaged and empty. Imagine if somebody stole that so they could cure people. Imagine if this is the new Batman villain. He stole that shit so he could cure somebody for free. He's like, there's like a whole bunch of people that got cancers. I want to cure them for free. The government is charging too much money. So they like, we trying to kill people for free. And then this happens. Oh man. You don't know, man. This might be what's really going on. They're trying to kill people for free. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Like, yo, we trying to kill people for free. It's the government. The government did all of these things. They would have just let us cure people. We had to break into the shipping containers. It was 6 men. It was only 2 of us. We hid in the shadows. As I clung to the roof of the inside of the train, sweat beading off of my brow. I could hear my heartbeat. It's a rush like you've never known. As we pull into the station, I could see it's our time. As the one guy reaches for the door to open it, we saw our freedom. We saw our opportunity. Anyway. Mission Impossible type stuff. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. They're hanging from the ceiling, all types of bullshit. In any regard, because I'm going to say this real quick. For this thing, whatever it is, to be as inconsequential as they're saying, oh, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. But at the same time, our skies are lit up with things that look like this. Hold on. Let me show you something real quick.
Look at this shit. Damn. Yo.
So allegedly, this is one of them. I don't know if it is.
That shit look crazy, yo.
But that looks like that thing that had crashed.
I wish you was outside right now. This shit is not. I can't.
Allegedly, that's one of them. Hold on. I think we have a downed one. Hold on, John. Hold on. Remember this?
No way.
That looks similar, right? That looks like they could be the same thing, right?
Look at this shit. Damn. Yo. Damn. That shit look crazy.
Also, I'm hearing there's multiple different types of drones up there. So it's not just one type of drone. These drones could be having a whole firefight up there for all we know. They just not shooting bullets. They probably like shooting frequencies at each other. I don't know. They said, so people were trying to send their own personal drones up there. They were saying that when their personal drones was getting close, they were getting hit with something and turning off. Like they were just getting disabled shit. I'm glad there wasn't no tiny people in them things. Would have been somebody would have sent like they hamster up there in the drone. somebody would have sent their hamster like up there in the drone with it or something to like, infiltrate the other drone. Like he was going to jump off from one drone to the other and attack it. You don't never know nowadays. People are training their pets to do some incredible things. You never know. People are training them their pets. Hold on, let's look at this other show real quick. So yeah, so that's allegedly what's going on with the drone. Anyway, I want to get to this Diddy thing real quick. Hold on, let's just finish this. So hold on, the radiation source is deemed less than a category 3 on the International Atomic Energy Agency scale, which means it's very unlikely to cause permanent injury. So if this is the thing, right? So why aren't terrorists just breaking into random hospitals, rewiring the shit in there and turning that shit into a nuke? That's my question. If this is really what they looking for, why isn't there some random... Let me stop saying this shit before I give somebody an idea. But you understand what I'm saying? This is just... I don't think that... We'll see. They might be up there for any... But why wouldn't that be happening? Alright, real quick. Let's go to... I want to go to this segment is called... We want to change segments real quick. This segment is called Democrats Quoting More Lies. Democrats lying again. I haven't decided exactly what the title of the segment is going to be, but it's in that vein. Democrats is always their lines. Check this out. So we talked about this the other day. I got something I'm going to show after this. Just give me a second. So we talked about this the other day. George Stephanopoulos, apologetic humiliation over ABC News' $16 million defamation suit settlement from Trump. Now, so just so we could be clear, Trump is not pocketing the money. He's actually, they go into one of his foundations or something like that, and then obviously it's going to be distributed for whatever that foundation is for. If anybody that's saying Trump is just wants it for the money, Trump is also the guy that said that he doesn't even want the check for being president. He's like, I'm already rich. What the hell is freaking $400,000 going to do for me? Like, what the hell are you talking about? Y'all could take that money and put that in the foundation also. I think that is actually what he does. So he takes his earnings from being the president and he puts it into different foundations, and then they put it into, trust or whatever the case is. Anyway, in any regard. So George Stephanopoulos, and just so we could be clear, ABC News, I believe, had to pay $15 million, and George Stephanopoulos had to pay $1 million himself. So ABC News anchor George Stephanopoulos is apologetically humiliated by the network's decision to pay $60 million settlement to settle a defamation lawsuit brought by President-elect Donald Trump, the Post has learned. Stephanopoulos, who claimed that Trump had raped E. Jean Carroll during an interview with Republican lawmaker Nancy Mace, was particularly upset about being forced to apologize. A source with knowledge of the situation said. Another source told the Post that George is a defiant. A third source says Stephanopoulos is a very guarded person. His circle of trust is so small, and a lot of them don't work at ABC anymore. Wonder Wise is the first insider added that the host of this week had recently signed a contract extension with Diddy, owned by ABC. Through the source, did not confirm the terms of the deal. The former President Bill Clinton aide was kept a low profile since the settlement, a $15 million donation to the Presidential Foundation and Museum for Trump, and another Presidential Foundation and Museum for Trump. Another $1 million for Trump's attorney fees was announced Saturday. Okay, so that's what it's for. I think Stephanopoulos had to pay the attorney fees. He has deactivated his X accounts where he had more than 2.3 million followers. I want to say something real quick about this X account thing because I want to say something real quick about X while we're on this real quick. So I heard some people who are left extremists mostly. Once again, there's a lot of people who are on the left who are absolutely civil individuals. They're not maniacs. I don't know no other way to put it. They're not maniacs. So there are a lot of people who are not maniacs and they're on the left. But so I'm talking about the extreme left at this point, right? So the extreme left complains now that X is allowing for, or their voices are being censored. That's what they're saying. And so somebody came out that has inside information on this, and basically, what could have been, it was on the news that it was said. I can't remember if it was the correspondent that said it or the person that was being interviewed. In any regard, what was said is that what's actually happening is that for years, Twitter had been censoring the right's voice, the far right's voice. And by them censoring the far right's voice, only leftist ideas were really being generated on the platform for the most part. And that's how they was able to engineer society, by the way, because Twitter being as big as it is, all of your favorite celebrities on Twitter, all of your favorite information gatherers on Twitter, news agencies and such, and that's the platform in which they use. This is before Instagram, and that's the platform in which where a lot of credibility is given to, and you're able to interact with these individuals, directly more in their comment section. This is what was used. Just like I said before, I used to watch basically ESPN. I used to work for my pops, so on days that I wasn't working, I would sit and watch ESPN, and I would tweet with the ESPN correspondents in real time, and they would tweet back and respond and comment. So I'm telling you that this is a thing for everybody that don't get it. So in any regard, so what was said is that now the right's voice is being able to be heard. The right is actually not being censored now, and now what's happening is that there always was a 50-50 at a minimum on a lot of these ideas and a lot of these positions. But what had happened is that if you're censoring 50% of that 50 or 75% of that 50, now it seems like 75% of the interactions that's happening on this platform are leftist ideas. So now it makes you feel, all of these people are using this platform, and it seems like the majority of them agree with this particular concept. So why wouldn't I look into this a little? Maybe I'm the one that's wrong, and a lot of people feel like that. I'm going to tell you a real quick thing that happened to us when we was kids. I'm going to tell you the whole entire story, because this story is a lot more than the lesson that I'm trying to explain. So there was this girl that used to be in our class. I'm not going to say her name. Kids are just cruel. So as an adult, we look at situations completely different than a child would. And so this girl, she had like 2 older sisters, I think, and 1 younger sister. And they had a hard life at home. Anyway, she also had a hard life in school. This woman is the reason, she's a woman now. It's the reason why I don't pick on people. In any regard, the young lady was an outcast. Her parents, if that's what you want to call them, they barely gave her the bare minimum. As far as when she came to school, she wasn't kept. So one particular day, they send her to school and her clothes is reeking. She sits on the opposite end of the room as I do. I'm gonna tell a second story after this, so you can understand why I don't never pick at anybody ever. So her school was called, and her home was called or contacted, because she lived like a block away. Her parents was told that they had to come pick her up and do something about her clothes, her smell. So the parents ended up bringing her clothes to change into. Now this is something that pissed me off when it was happening. Now the two stories that I'm telling, I can't remember which one came first. I just know that they both happened. I think this one came second. The one that I'm going to tell you next came first. Because what happened next pissed me off even as a child. I understood that this was wrong. So while the girl was outside changing, Mr. Rubin, the assistant principal comes in. He was new, right? Probably been there a year, two, maybe. So he comes in and he talks about the bullying. She can't help it. You know? And right after he says that, they do a thing. Because they want to show you that people just follow. You don't have to follow the people that's bullying this girl. You can be an individual. The girl comes into the classroom, but before she does, the principal says, I want everybody to, as soon as she sit down, to stand up. And then as soon as she stand up, I want y'all to sit down and watch. So she comes in. We're sitting down. She sits down. We stand up. She looks around. She does not know what's going on. When she stand up, we sit down. Then he tries to make his point. And even as a child, I thought that was wrong. Let's tell the second story real quick. And the second story I know came first. It has to have, because it was about third grade. I had met her for the first time. We had never been in the same class together. But they made so much fun of her and her family at that school that it was just a thing. Like every kid damn near. Like you made fun of her even though you never even met or saw her. It was just a running joke. So finally we're in the same class. And we're at lunch. I'll never forget this day. I had never made fun of her. Not behind her back, not to her face, not nothing. But on this day, I said a joke. And it was really funny. And she got up and she went in the bathroom and just cried. Now, I had been in the same class with her for about 3 or 4 months now. And people made fun of her every day. And she never cried. She never got sad. We gotta watch how we treat people. You never know what somebody else is going through. You never know. In any regard, where we at? So sources said ABC. So he deactivated his X account where he had more than 2.3 million followers, right? 9 times out of 10, like I said, like I was trying to explain, now they can't bully people by having the only voice in the room. Because when you call people crazy and when you try to minimize a person's actual impact because of your narcissist behavior, and then that gets flipped on its head, those people can't stand it. What is the Democrats complaining about? Trump coming after them with law enforcement. But what have they been doing to him for the last 4 years, 5 years, before he even left office, right? What have they been doing to him? So now they're complaining about it. I'm going to show you something real quick. Check this out. Hey, hear about this? Biden saying that Congress shouldn't trade stock. Did y'all hear about that? What am I saying? Stock? Did y'all hear about that? Biden endorses ban on stock trading for Congress members. What to know about Congress practices. Joe Biden called for an end to stock trading for members of Congress in an interview stated, Congress isn't supposed to be able to trade stock in the first damn place. You do know that that's a conflict of interest, right? Congress creates the policies that affect the businesses, that affect the stock of the businesses. Congress members betting on stock is like always going to be insider trading. Do you get it? So he throws it right under the bus. Pelosi. Guess who he most likely will not be giving a pardon to? For everybody that don't know why he would be mad at Pelosi. Hold on. How you spell her name? Pelosi, right? All right. Biden, right? Look, if anybody wondering why he might be feeling the way, as Biden dug in on continuing his campaign, Nancy Pelosi kept the pressure on. Democratic leader and donors had tough conversations with Biden behind the scenes, but congressional sources give the former House Speaker a lot of credit for his exit. Hold on. I don't know if I was able to get this or not. Hopefully I was able to get this. And you know, I love adding context. I wasn't able to get it. Dang. All right. Sheesh. All right, fuck it. Anyway, in any regard, there is a person that was being interviewed. Oh, well, not really interviewed. They were just talking, and it was a hidden camera. I think it was the hidden camera guy. Anyway, they said basically Biden is done. Like, Biden's done. Like, he's basically like dead. Like, his mental acumen he's cooked. He's cooked. He's done. He was like, Biden might pass away 6-7 months after he leave office. He's done. I'm not trying to defend Nancy Pelosi, just so we could be clear. I'm not trying to attempt to do that. But Pelosi is the one that pushed for him to step aside. He stepped aside. Now we're hearing him talking about doing his bans on, whatever. But also, I hope Trump does the put term limits. We need term limits on these people. That's what we need. We need term limits. I brought the thing up and I'm showing the thing. But we need term limits. So basically, just so we could be clear, Nancy Pelosi, who I'm not saying she did anything wrong, because they said that the dude might not even make it 6-7 months after his term. This term, we might not make it. So I'm not even saying she did anything wrong. I just want to be clear on that. I'm just saying that this is a thing that she did. And then now Biden is endorsing, and she is like the biggest, I don't want to say proponent, but beneficiary of Congress in the stock market. She's been like the biggest beneficiary, apparently. So, yeah, Congress shouldn't trade stocks, but they've already been doing it for 80 years of corruption. So just so we can see that these dudes is always trying to prevent other people from doing whatever the bullshit is that they did. They always trying to stop everybody else from doing it. They want to be the only ones to be able to do the bullshit. If somebody else is doing the bullshit, they trying to stop them. See why we have a problem? This is the part of the government y'all guys vote for. This is the part of the government y'all guys love. Sheesh. Anyway. Matter of fact, I want to go to a commercial break. Be right back.
My mama always told me I could be whatever I wanted. So I became a problem.
So I want to show y'all something real quick. Let's get to this. Let's get to this real quick. Not that. I think I gotta turn the volume down on this. Hold on. So this is supposed to be the Diddy list. Yeah, this is supposed to be the Diddy list. I'm going to rewind it for you. Be right back. This is supposed to be the Diddy list. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Bing Bang. So just so we can be clear, I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. We don't have any certainty whether this list is real or not. All we know is that this is allegedly a list that's out there. Now, there's a good chance, just so we can be clear, that this list was put together after someone, I unmuted, didn't I? Actually saw the video. Like, you know, because there's videos out there. Am I still on mute? Now I'm checking to see if I'm still on damn mute.
Lower flight prices shouldn't be a secret.
Let's go through the top 3 worst fantasy football punishments. Coming in at number 1, the tried and true Waffle House.
Am I still on mute? Now I'm waiting. Now I'm checking to see if there we go. I'm not on mute no more. There we go. Boom. All right. There we go. Not on mute no more. Was on mute. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody that let me know I was on mute. So we don't know if this list is accurate or not. This is just a list that somebody has came about and said that these people are a part of the Diddy situation. We don't know for certain. This is all alleged. I just want to be clear. I want to say that. And we're going to look at some of the names that's on here. And I also just want to add, this could have been put together just by anybody that's like, you know what, I'm just going to raise some celebrity names and didify them. Or it could have been put together by somebody that actually saw some videos and said, let me aggregate some of this nonsense and started writing down names. In any regard, it says Beyonce. It says Samuel Jackson. Okay, so just so we could be clear, the reason why Samuel L. Jackson name is Samuel L. Jackson, because in the world of entertainment, a person could only have one name. So let's say that there's a Jack Smith that's an actor and he signed up as an actor and his name is Jack Smith. No one else named Jack Smith can find up to be an actor now. You have to be Jack K. Smith Jr. or some shit like that. Like, this is real talk, just for anybody that don't get it. So I know it says Samuel Jackson. We're assuming they're saying Samuel L. Jackson, but Samuel L. Jackson name is Samuel L. Jackson because it was already a Samuel Jackson. With that being said, Oprah, Barack, and Mike Obama. These dudes is so funny. I'm done. I'm not paying no more attention to this list. This list is finished. Okay, this list is finished. That list is done. That list is done without showing. I'm taking the list off, of course. I'm going to explain why I'm taking that list off. Anybody that's wondering why that list is done. So, we're here for the jokes, right? The jokes is great, right? But we're talking about something that's really serious, right? So, there's certain things I don't feel comfortable joking about, right? That Diddy situation, there's certain jokes I'm okay with. But there's certain other jokes that we can't make jokes about because it's too serious, the accusations, right? So the person goes by Michelle Obama. We have no reason to believe with any certainty that she is not a woman, just so we could be clear. There's with any certainty. So we're not going to do that. In a different light, I might make a joke or two or find a joke acceptable in that, but not in that vein. We're not doing that. Also, because as you know, at least she's a black woman, and I don't feel comfortable when people try to make light of black. Like, okay, so I'm gonna say something. We all the way off. We're all the way off thing. I just want to say a couple of things. So, do y'all remember Grace Jones? I hated the fact that they tried to make Grace Jones look like she was a beautiful black woman, because I did not find her as beautiful. I thought she had very strong features. I don't think that there's anything wrong with anybody finding her attractive, but I thought that she had very strong features and looked masculine. And I did not like that they wanted to make it seem like in order for you to be an attractive black woman, you had to look masculine. I didn't like that. So I was never a fan of Grace Jones, just so we could be clear, ever. And so I don't like when they don't allow for our black women to be feminine and pretty. Because I'm attracted to feminine and pretty. Yeah, you little rough around the edges, that's cool. Because sometimes I could be gullible. So I'm fine with having a female who just ain't gonna take no shit from nobody. I'm cool with that. As long as she's just not, out there creating disrespect. And it's like, we can't be fighting every day, babe. But we can't be doing that. But I don't like when we do that. But in certain forums, I would have accepted the mic joke, but not in this one. Because now you're saying that Michelle Obama is at these Diddy parties and exposing the fact that he's really a man, if he were one. I don't think that would be able to fly. So Michelle Obama being at the party is one thing, but Michelle Obama participating in the affairs is a different thing. I can't get with that. I just think that they have too much to lose to even partake in some shit like that. But what do I know? What do I know? I think black women are the most beautiful women on the planet. Just so we can be clear. Per capita. Just so we can be clear. I have a thing for Puerto Rican women and Dominican women. This is a fact. I've discussed this numerous times. I grew up in the Bronx. Love Puerto Rican and Dominican women, but black women are the most beautiful women on the planet. Per capita. I really do got a thing for Puerto Rican chicks, though. For real. I have no idea. I mean, I guess because the first big crush that I had were all Puerto Rican females. First big crushes I had. In kindergarten, it was some little light-skinned girl. I don't know, but I guess she could have been Puerto Rican. She looked like she was. In first grade, it was this chick named Millie. She was Puerto Rican. Her cousin was my friend for a real long time. My best friend for a real long time, Freddie. Shout out to Freddie. And then I had the biggest crush on his mom's. She was Puerto Rican. So those are the people I came in contact with. Although, in our school, the prettiest girl was Leslie Rush. Shout out to Leslie Rush. PS59, 80s. She was the prettiest girl in the school. That's a fact. There is no debate in that. There's zero debate. She was the prettiest and she was the flyest. There is no debate. She was black. No debate. That's probably why I like girls with glasses to this day. No debate. That's the biggest crush I've ever had. I don't think I've ever had a crush bigger than that one. No celebrity crush, no crush. There's no crush I've ever had that was bigger than that one. I had such a crush on her that I started hanging out with her boyfriend. Shout out to Scene. He was a cool ass motherfucker. I started hanging out with the nigga. And I was like, this nigga cool as shit. I would choose him over me too. I ain't think that, but I just said that because that was funny right there. But yeah, nah, nigga was cool as shit. Shout out to Scene. It's cool as shit. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I was like, damn, if I'm hanging out with him, I know when they break up. As soon as they break up. Like, I'm a little kid, man. Yeah, I'm thinking like that. I had a big crush on that girl. It's a whole fact. Shout out to Leslie Rush. She looked like a browner skinned MC Light. That's how I always saw her. Like MC Light, but brown skin. She like a browner skinned young MC Light, but way softer features. Because MC Light had kind of hard features. Her features were soft. I like soft features. Chicks be having like hard features, and they might be attractive. Don't get me confused. Like, I'm not saying your hard features are not attractive. Look, people like Grace Jones, she had the hardest features available. Nobody had harder features than Grace Jones. Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't have hardest features than Grace Jones. Shout out to Grace Jones. Those are the same features that made her a supermodel, correct? So it is what it is. I'm over here making jokes. What time we got? We got 10:30. I think we started late though, right? I think we started like right on time, which is late because I try to start early. Is there anything y'all want to discuss, talk about? Put it in the chat, and I'll get right to it. Anything y'all want to discuss, anything, put it in the chat. We get right to it. I didn't have much for the show. I gotta make some more commercials. I gotta get our Adobe back. I got stuff that I'm supposed to be doing, but I don't got Adobe yet back. We gonna get our Adobe back. We working on other stuff. We get Adobe back. We gotta get that shit back. In any regards, I got a thing I'm supposed to be doing. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. All that shit is about to work itself out. It's about to work itself out like y'all don't even understand. It's about to work itself out. I promise you. Like you don't even understand. Anything y'all want to talk about? I don't want to hold y'all. There's a couple of things that I do want to get to, and 10-minute videos are coming back. So there's a couple of things that I do want to get to, so I don't even want to hold y'all. I'm just being honest. I don't have anything big. Like right now, even if I'm having an issue setting something up, I haven't figured it out yet, but we gonna work on it. I might need more adapters or something. I don't know. We gonna work on it. We still working, but we got some other stuff to do. But I got to get some other content out today. And shout out to being a sinner. I was helping some kid with his homework the other day. I want to say something real quick. So I haven't actually did like school homework in a while, and I'm gonna tell you what's the biggest thing. You're reading what it says on the paper, and it makes perfectly good sense. But you're as a whole full adult haven't read anything that was meant for children to comprehend in a dumb long time. So that shit sound like gibberish. To be honest with you. So I'm reading the kids shit. I'm reading the kids jump off, and I'm trying to help them with it. And I'm like, it makes perfectly good sense. And then I'm turning to the kid and I'm like, but what did the teacher say? Because you just get the feeling like there was context to this that this kid is not delivering. And so I need the context because I see what it says. But remember, I haven't done this type of work in how many years? Sheesh. I haven't done this type of work in how many years? Sheesh. You'll be looking, you'll be like, what in the hell? Be like, what in the hell? You don't even know. And you'll be like, maybe not. You see. Anyway. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. We're about to go soon. I'm not going to hold y'all. Got some other stuff we got to get to. But yeah. So I was helping some kid with his homework. I don't know what anybody else is doing with their free time, man. I don't got the slightest idea. Honestly. I don't know. I think you should do with your free time what's in your heart. Right? So I don't know what anybody else is doing with their free time. I know what I'm doing with my free time. I might actually get out there to play basketball today. What's the weather like? It's in the 50s. I might make it to the 50s. I might go shoot around. No, but that's just too early. Nah, it's too late. No, I'm not even gonna. I was thinking about maybe shooting around today. Maybe Saturday. Maybe next Saturday if it's warm on Saturday. What's the weather looking like this weekend? Nah, it's gonna be cold. And it's supposed to have some precipitation today at some point. Yeah, that's because it got so warm. It usually is gonna have precipitation when it gets warm. At this time of year, you know. All right. Not today. Not today. Another day. It is what it is. It is what it is. So anything y'all guys want to talk about, put it in the chat. This guy coffee left. Anything else y'all want to talk about, put it in the chat. It was dope. It was dope. Some of the mothers came through yesterday, I guess, to drop off some of their kids. We got some new kids there. Some of the moms came through yesterday. That was dope. Some of them stayed for a moment, you know, because you got to see what's going on. So that was dope. But that's what I do in my free time. I don't know what anybody else is doing. I have zero idea what anybody else is doing. Hopefully we'll be able to bring some more stuff to you. And if you're wondering where I'm doing all of this, remember I was working with the Coney Island Sharks. Shout out to Coach Knight. Shout out to Miss Priscilla. Shout out to Miss Sue and Grandma. Shout out to all four of y'all. So I was working with them, and so that's basically what I'm doing now. Like I said before, people are trying to mess that up too. Like, why wouldn't you? I don't understand. People are crazy. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. So I donate my time. I donate my energy. Every day, I'm not gonna lie. I sit around and be like, how can somebody hate me? Like, every day I be thinking that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, how can somebody hate me? Like anybody could dislike anybody, like, you know what I'm saying? But how could they hate me? Like, want to do things to, like, destroy my life. Like, why? I don't understand. I don't get it. Anyway, it wasn't meant. It's not meant for something for me to understand. I'm going to assume. With that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. Everybody have a blessed day. I'm going to, I guess, get some grub. I got a couple of things I got to work on. So I'm going to try to get about an hour of gaming in. Probably around like 1, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe around 1, or maybe right before I step out to go to the center. I don't know. With that being said, yo, look, I love y'all. Everybody have a blessed day. Go out there in the world. Do something worth doing. Stamp God's name on it. It's hard out here. Like, sometimes you don't. Sometimes people don't know how much of how impactful they could sometimes be just by not getting in the way. Like, sometimes people don't know how impactful they could be just by not getting in the way. So for the people out there that can't find anything worth doing that you deem that's something that's worth doing, something that's also worth doing is just not getting in the way. That's also worth doing. I'm just saying. It's not always easy to find something that to be helpful for that is inside of your wheelhouse. You know, that you feel comfortable with, especially somebody that's a stranger, right? But something that we can do is not get in other people's way. Sometimes being a blessing is knowing when to step aside. With that being said, I love y'all. Everybody have a blessed day. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. That's all I got on this one.
Hey! Is the noon train on time?
It's supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.